What is going on?
Yeah, man.
Five people?
I got to meet that drummer, man, who played on that track. I'm digging him. He's got a little thing happening.
Yeah, you should see him. He's a badass. He was a badass back then. He's even more of a badass now. His name, and you may know him because his name is Shannon Corey. Shannon Corey, white guy. He's played with Colonel Bruce Hampton in a few of the iterations of that. Mm-hmm. Did a lot of jazz stuff, some country stuff. He's been around for a minute. He's been around for a long time. Yeah, connect. How's everybody doing? Welcome to Funkatopia Live, everybody. I'm Mr. Christopher. This is my illustrious co-host, Mr. Michael Blair.
Yes, in the face. In the face. Yes,
in the face.
In the Yes, in the face. And he's just going full out on that. He's hollering.
Yeah, we had an adventurous day today.
How about that? Yeah.
Well, so for you guys don't obviously know, but this is actually our second show. Actually, my third.
God bless you, man. Keep moving, man. Just like the Energizer Bunny. Just keep rolling, man.
So we're doing this interview. We did this interview today with Darwin. And for those who don't know who Darwin is a band. I can't really tell where they're based out of because, well, I guess the band contains, you guys remember Mohini Day, who we had a bass player that we had on back in June. But it also had a multi-instrumentalist songwriter named Darwin. He also had Simon Phillips as the drummer. And you want to talk about Simon for a second?
I mean, first off, ever since the first time I saw him playing, like in the early 80s, with Pete Townshend on that whole White City thing, I was like, who is that guy? It's like a white guy with an afro who sounds exactly like Billy Cobham. I couldn't believe it. Yeah, and then I went back and I figured out, this guy played with Jeff Beck. He did this, he did that. Incredible player. Incredible.
And he's played with everyone. He went Pete Townshend, The Who, Frank Zappa, Peter Gabriel, Toto. I mean, he's been everywhere. So Simon Phillips is also in this band. So is Greg Howe. Greg Howe he used to play with Poison. He played with the guy from Poison, Nick. Greg Howe is this guy. Is pretty
guitar player. Actually, we both were on a track for this bass player from Anoka named John Pirtle, who had like an endorsement with the Yamaha basses. This guy, I mean, he was coming for John Patitucci, this guy is full on, a true master of the instrument. And he got Greg Howe to play on this instrumental track that we recorded here in Minneapolis. I was like, whoa, how'd you get this dude? But he was in it like that. And that was the first time I heard Greg Howe really do his thing, man. I mean, what an incredible player. I've never met him.
So all these cats are and Matt Bissonette is also in the band. Who, I mean, Matt's got an insane resume as well. So all these guys, it's like a little bit of a super group. Minus Darwin, because Darwin really didn't have a lot of traction. But it was his creation and his thing, and he put this band together. It was like, screw it, I'm putting this band together.
Just from talking to him, it's like he's the grease in the gears, man.
Yeah.
I feel that dude. That dude is adding that special sauce to everything.
Yeah. So I interviewed him today, and Michael couldn't make it, and I interviewed them, and we did an entire hour interview. Smashed it. It was such a good interview. Everything was feeling good. I felt like I was in the zone. Everything was good. It was great. Got done with it, and then the processing of the file failed, and it crashed and burned. And I didn't do a second recording process, and so I literally I felt sick to my stomach. So I literally had to email them and say, we have to do the interview over.
and luckily, they're gracious, man. They nobody said nothing.
Yeah. And luckily, Michael was able to make it to the second time around.
I was sleeping off a bad letter I got from the IRS. It's like about 11:30 in the morning. I was like, I'm going back to bed. I can't handle this.
Yeah. So it was great though, because the second wave around, it felt nothing like the first one. The first one felt the first one I was, just using the deets and stuff that I had, and it was very stoic, but Michael was fanboying on Simon Phillips, which was great because they were able to vibe. And that's one of the things I really love about having you on the show too, is that, you guys, you know a lot of the same people, you run a lot of the same circles, you have a really high appreciation for, other people, and people appreciate you. Because when I did the interview the first time, he said, oh man, I wish Michael was here, man. I love Michael Bland. I said, oh my God, he would love to hear that. Go ahead and say it, and I'll make sure that I take that clip out and send it to him, because I'm sure he would love to hear it from you.
I don't even want to see it. Don't ever play that for me.
He says, that was some of Prince's best work, is when he was behind the drums and blah. I was like,
no, that dude, man. I don't need any praise from him. That man, he's so cold, man. And what a nice guy too. Just a gentleman and totally patient and informative and all of that, man. He was just so great.
So, while it's not funk, we had to do it because we're music heads, and that's what, we told you, we warned you, this is the direction that we were going.
That's right.
And so we did the interview. So the interview was sitting in the can. I got to edit it, do some editing and stuff, but I mean, it'll be ready to go. And I think we're airing it on Friday, on the 18th. It's going to be the 18th. Right. So it's be pre-recorded. So we'll be dropping it then, because I think they're doing a single, and there's going to be pre-sales available for their brand new album that's coming out. But get ready. That's one that's coming. It's already in the can, and I had to do 2 of those. And now here we are, show 3 for the night.
All right. Yeah. Sorry about that, man. I should have been around for all 4.
No, that's all right. That's all right though, man. It was fun. It was good. No,
No, I know you did. I know you held your own, man. You don't need me here. I'm just,
Oh no. It was a totally different dynamic. It was just
Batman, I'm Robin, man. It's all right.
It was good. I was working the shit out of that utility belt. I'll tell you that.
Go ahead, bro. Hit it.
Oh my gosh. Oh, look, all you fine folks. Let me just go ahead and just say, I love the fact that even before we even come online, these people are just loading up in the chat room. I love the fact that you guys are all here. Lori, you were the first person in at 7:15. Did a full half hour for the show. Red Cat Uprock. What is going on? You keep saying how lovely to get together again. I miss, and I'm trying to remember who Red Cat Uprock is. So I'm not. Don't take offense, but obviously it's not your name, and I'm. You already know how I am.
Or stalker, probably a friend.
That's all good. It's all good. It's all good. And just so you know, we probably will open up the phone lines tonight, because I'm going to hit on a couple topics after our interviews segment that people may want to call in for. It's going to be like a little bit of a dangerous scenario, and I'll run that phone line when we get to it. But anyways, April, what is going on? And let's see, Purple Nerd Channel, always in the house. Many Moons, what's going on? Electric Vibe, that's another podcast too. It's very, very cool. Samantha, Lawrence, Susie, Joe, Susan Peterson.
Detroit in the house. We got London in the house. I saw somebody from London.
Yeah, man. We got
Tracy
Greg
Brown Turner. Yes.
Yeah, all right. Sandra from Carlsbad over there on that side of the world. Adam, what's going on? Man, all you fine folks. Man, that's
all right, man. We had a little meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Nabbit, I forgot I was going to do that too. Tony Halliburton's in the house. What's going on, Tony? That is the bass player for our new intro song. He's and we went to go see Morris Day and the Time and the SOS Band and Lakeside in Mableton, Georgia this past weekend on Saturday. Freeze was like, hey, why don't you come out to the show? We came out to the show. We didn't get an opportunity to get backstage, but we went to the show. We had nice seats underneath the covered area. It was all the way in the back, but it was like still a covered area, and you're not in the middle of the madness, and it's not, it was nice. So you guys saw some clips, including a clip of SOS Band. And what was amazing is that the SOS Band, Mary has not been in the band for a while. Matter of fact, she had a stroke and she retired. Oh. And on their last song, Mary came out on the stage and sang the last song. And I happened to be doing it on Funkatopia Live. So if you guys go to the Facebook page, I was recording it, and I was focused on one side of the stage, and then I hear people going nuts over here. And so I panned over, and there was Mary coming out on the stage, and she sang, it wasn't Just Be Good to Me. It was the other one. Take Your Time, Do It Right. And she killed it. Oh my God, just killed it.
Really?
And it didn't sound like she didn't lose a step. She was in it, and it was amazing. Now, I know a lot of people say, "Oh, I can't wait. They're coming to such and such." She lives here in Atlanta, so that's probably why she was there that night. So I probably captured a moment that, as far as the SOS Band tour is concerned, that you're probably not going to see anywhere else. But you know what I found interesting too? It's 8:00. I know it's the 8:00 hour, but we'll wait for Maya McClean to come in, who is our guest tonight. Maya McClean's going to be here. We're going to be talking about some of her life coaching stuff that she's doing, her brand new album that she's got coming out. And of course, we'll talk a little bit about Prince to kind of reacclimate you guys with them. Oh, sure. But anyways, one of the things I was noticing is that, I give a lot of shit to The Time for doing the same set over and over and over and over again. But it's like all the hits and everything. But one of the things I was noticing, especially with Lakeside and SOS Band, because in all honesty, outside of the hits, or the stuff that was even not like hit, I don't really know a bunch of SOS bands. I even have Lakeside albums and SOS Band albums here. And I didn't recognize, if people do not recognize the songs, they sit and they do not react. They don't, they don't vibe. They just, and they don't react. They don't react until the band is playing the hits. And so all the time that you spend going, oh man, I wish The Time would play Don't Wait for Me, or Morris would play Don't Wait for Me, or I wish, they'd play this, and I wish they'd play that. And I started thinking, watching it from this side, for those fans that are coming that don't know anything outside of The Time's hits, right? That may be how they react, is they just kind of just sit and don't really absorb. Now there'll be some of us that'll be into it.
Oh, they could change the lyrics to Donald Trump Black version and play that.
I think they should have played it anyway.
Play it anyway.
They should play it anyway. And it's funny too.
Black version. Yes. I saw you had a clip of them playing. I never saw them play Pandemonium before. So
yeah, I actually went on. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the website Setlist.fm, but anytime that I go to a concert, a lot of bands, a majority of bands, 90 whatever % of bands play the same set list in every single town that they're in. So you can go to setlist.fm and look up the band, and you can see the exact set list that they're going to play. There's going to be little variations, just like there were with this other thing. So I was watching it and I saw that they've been playing Pandemonium with Chocolate, I guess since 2023, and it's because it was consistently in the set list since last year. But it's good. And since you happen to bring up the FM set list site, because I have the same pet peeve, which is why Soul Asylum, no two shows. You can see the set lists over the years. Mm-hmm. We made a concerted effort to never play the same show twice. We've had to sort of we're in a new album cycle right now, so we have to strategically choose what songs from the new record, what of the classics, and then what of like the diehard, like old material to play. But you go to look for Soul Asylum, you will see, like, since I got in the band 2005, almost no two shows are going to be exactly alike. Right. Yeah. And that's one of the things I loved about Prince too, is even on the regular shows, out of all the shows I saw, and I've seen him 27 times in concert. Only Purple Rain was really that, and the Love Sexy tour.
Sure.
Those tours were the only ones that were very succinct and only because he didn't have like a whole huge massive library of songs to choose from too. So it wasn't
just that. I mean, can I interject and say that I actually got to speak to Prince about the Purple Rain tour. And he said that tour was like being in jail, basically. You couldn't really deviate because all those fans, well, not all of them, but a great number of fans who were coming to see him on the Purple Rain tour also went to see Madonna on the Like a Virgin tour, also went to see Phil Collins on the, Hello, I Must Be Going tour or whatever, So it wasn't really like it was before that, where it was like, these are my people. I can take them to another world if I feel like it. So he had to really curb his impulse to, be a bit more spontaneous. He said, you have no idea what it's like to play the same guitar solo 97 times in a row. He said and I guess that's probably why he cut the tour so short. Because I'm like, all that money they left on the table, man? What did it go, like 9 months? They didn't go to Europe. They didn't go to Japan.
Well, there was 2 legs of that tour. So,
okay.
But, still. Sorry, I had both.
I was in high school. I missed them both.
Sorry, I forgot to prep my Crystal Light. So I got to get ready for the night. I don't know why I can't. I can drink. If I take a really, really hot, this is TMI. If I take a really hot bath, I love water. Oh my gosh, I can just drink water. But like if I'm just like sitting at the desk like this, I have to have something added to it, like Crystal Light or something. I don't know. I don't know why. I just again TMI.
I'm always sipping on this liquid death over here. So
which is water. Yeah, it is. It's a great mind. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get to our show, shall we? Because our guest has been sitting in the green room, and I want to make sure that we get to her.
Yeah, we need to be polite. We need to.
Oh, absolutely.
Treat our guest like a guest, and not like she lives here. And go in the fridge and get your own soda. let's treat Maya with some decency and respect.
Right. So, and also what we're going to do is we'll make sure that we got a lot of stuff to talk about after the show too. So get ready for that.
That's right. Stay
glued. Stay glued even after the interview, because we got some crazy stuff to talk about. All right.
We ever.
Yeah, we do. We're going to talk. And we may have to open the phone lines. All right, let's get to it. Maya McClean is an Australian-born artist, though that you may remember as one half of the iconic dancing singing duo the Twinz. She obviously toured alongside Prince, dancing and singing with him for over a decade, including the legendary Super Bowl halftime performance. You can also hear her singing on multiple songs, including on Prince's Planet Earth album, The One You Want to See, Lion of Judah, Resolution, stuff like that. Maya is preparing to release her debut solo album, Awakening, which she'll be debuting live this Thursday night, which is it's the 10th, at First Avenue in Minneapolis, opening for the former members of NPG, including Morris Hayes, Tony M, Kip Blacksher, and others, including Brown Mark of the Revolution. So she'll be opening that show. The album is going to be being co-produced by Prince's musical director Morris Hayes, longtime collaborator Kip Blacksher, and also 3-time Grammy Award-winning producer Antonio Dixon, who has worked with Toni Braxton, Beyonce, and Ariana Grande. And it includes a special guest performance by fellow Australian that we've also had on the show, Taj Farrant, who you may remember if you went to the celebration a couple years ago. He destroyed the stage at the State Theater, and it was just amazing. He's a phenom, and he was actually on Australia's Got Talent too. I think he did Purple Rain. Anyways, let's just get to it. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the one and only Miss Maya McClean.
Well, all right. That's how you come on. Yeah, make a bunch of noise.
Well, you just hyped me up. Almost like my whole ego's like, oh, my head's getting big and exploding.
I'm too big to be here. Click.
So good. I was like,
why am I dealing with you guys?
Where?
Thank you for that beautiful introduction.
Absolutely, man. It's so good to see you. And okay, look, to start, let's get people reacclimated with you, since you've kind of over the past however many years it's been, you've kind of been inside of your chrysalis for a minute, and now here you are, Miss Butterfly. So before we get into it, just kind of give us an idea of, we'll talk about the solo album in a second, but I'm talking about you. What have you been up to? What's been going on with you?
Oh, so much. I've been on my journey. You talking about a chrysalis is like a definite representation of where I've been. After Prince passed, it was a really big deal for me. I felt like, I don't know, I could feel his energy just kind of blast into me. And I know that a lot of people felt this same thing. I was working in film at the time, and I was actually working on some content for him. I'd stopped dancing. I paused all of that for the moment, and I really was listening to my intuition. And I was like, I don't even have a plan right now. I've been singing and dancing and, doing the music thing with my sister. And I just really need to connect to the truth of who I am now. I've been living, a twin life where I never really distinguished myself from my sister, where it's kind of like, any of you guys married?
Yes, we both are.
So you make decisions with your wife.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
You don't really make your own choices. So
some of them, yeah.
I don't get to do nothing. My wife is the warden. And she knows it.
Have you seen the Key and Peele skit? You said that though? Anyway.
Yeah.
I don't watch that show too much, but I probably don't know the reference.
Go ahead.
The leaders, whatever. Anyway, long story short, I don't even know what I was talking about. Got distracted. So I really, having a twin was like being born with a partner, with a wife, where you're just literally making decisions together with everything. It was it is what it is. And so I was able to, I had a beautiful kind of awakening, and it was helping me, who am I? What do I who am I in this world? How do I even make choices for myself? And so I've been on this whole journey. We'd just released our group album. It was called Heroin December, our band. And I couldn't even do it anymore. I had this opening and I was like, it feels so inauthentic. It doesn't feel like it's me. And so I went on this whole self-love journey and self-discovery and figuring out who I am as an individual. And it led me to film first. And then that was when Prince died. And I was like, then his energy kind of blasted into me. And I was like, okay, where am I going now? And I had to shift that frequency. And then all this music kind of started coming out, and I started listening to my intuition, traveling. My hands started kind of tingling, and I was like, okay, Spirit, what do you want me to do with this? And they go, you need to put your hands on people and work with people. I said, all right. So I started doing body work and helping people. And my first client had a huge release, and I was kind of doing music therapy / spiritual guidance and massage in one. And so that led me into my path of, I think I'm just going to start helping to guide people on how to live in alignment with their truth and their authenticity. And people started just coming and wanting to work with me. And then, there's my website. So good. So I started doing work with people remote. The pandemic hit. It was perfect timing because people were just really having the time to self-discover. And all of this time I was working on my music, but the energy wasn't ready to record yet. And it was really interesting because I was feeling the music, and my old past self was like, I'm recording. So now I've just got to, I'm writing and creating all this music, but now I need to record it. But then Spirit and my intuition was like, ew, that's limiting. It feels like it's going to squash the sound, and it needs to be out. So I started just performing and playing and just doing transformational healing music. I don't even know what it was. It was like a transformational healing forum, working with people and tying in my songs to help people awaken to themselves. And then I moved into retreat space, and I started leading retreats in Mexico, which is amazing, in the jungle, doing chakra healing retreats, helping people heal from, limiting beliefs, getting stuck in their sexuality, their limiting mindset, helping them connect with their intuition. It was amazing. And then, yeah, I've come full circle back, and I'm like, oh, I'm helping all these people like connect with themselves and their passion and their intuition. I'm like, hang on, I'm not doing my music enough. And I was like, kind of like, you know how you teach something and then you're not living it yourself?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Got to a point where I'm just like, I was still doing music, but it wasn't to the full expression of myself. And then I'm like, I need to go back to the drawing board here. I'm going to go and do some beautiful, I did my own transformational retreats that I started receiving and diving into myself and channeling and reconnecting to myself. And then I don't even want to go into it. There's so much detail of what happened in those retreats. But my mum started coming to me, and she was trying to get me to sing, and I was scared. My throat was all stuck, and I feel emotional just talking about it. And then my throat was like stuck, and it was like I had to get this expression out because I'd been, limiting myself. And she was helping me sing her nursery rhymes that she used to sing to me as a kid. This was in one of the retreats, and then that was her gateway to help me. My mum's passed, by the way, for anyone that hasn't.
I was going to say I took that impression, but
we got
younger with me, but she was coming through, and so then I'm singing her songs, her little kids' nursery rhymes that she used to sing to me as a kid, and then I can hear her saying, "Time to sing your songs." And I was like, no, I'm scared. I'm too scared to express at that level. And then I was like, from that moment, I was like, okay, I need to just pause, all of this support that I'm giving to everyone and helping other people connect with themselves. And it's my time.
Now, I saw the logo that said Light, LYHT. What is that? Can you explain that?
Yeah, so when I was kind of discovering myself in the beginning of the journey, I had a show or something. I didn't know what it was going to be, and I had a date in New York, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to be doing on this. Am I singing music? Am I talking about? I didn't know what it was going to be, but I just said, let me just call it "Live Your Highest Truth," and I kind of created a whole description for the event, and
nice.
And I didn't have a plan on what I was going to do. I just had my guitar and a microphone, and I showed up to this event, and I started the whole thing with, "Hi guys, thanks for turning up. To be honest, I don't even know what I'm doing here. Spirit just called me to do this thing, and I'm created a space, and now I don't even know what's going to happen, but I'm just here to be with you, and let's see what happens." That was what the event was like, the first one, and it was called "Live Your Highest Truth." And it became like a forum of music and conscious conversations with the audience and helping them, connect with themselves and sharing my journeys of awakening through the music. And so Light became LYHT, Live Your Highest Truth.
Let me just go ahead and say, you need to trademark that sooner rather than later. Not just the living your heart's truth, but also the fact that it's LYHT, which is pronounced light.
Yeah.
That marketing is just is bomb.
Yeah, that was delivered to you in a little.
Yeah, you need to trademark
just
that.
Gets those gifts.
I need to text Ariel right now. Get that done.
Yeah.
Now.
That's proprietary.
Yes. Yeah, you make sure
Morris
you take
is
care
trying
of
to get on. I just heard that Morris is trying to pop in.
We see him down in the thing. It is not, I guess his microphone or his camera is not connected. I was waiting until to see his face before I brought him in. But I didn't know if he was just sitting that way, sitting in the background. It's all good. But let's continue talking about you a little bit, because I gotta say, let's just kind of talk about that twinning thing, because again, I know we're here to talk about your debut album, and I really want to get you talking about that. And I see that you got your guitar behind you, so maybe there might a little taste tonight. I don't know. Maybe. We'll see how that goes.
I've got something good for you.
Oh, do you?
Well,
all right. Okay.
Christopher inspired it earlier when I was in the waiting room.
Yeah. Oh, good. So let's talk about your personal life as far as like the twinning and things, because I this always intrigues me. So did you and Nandy ever do do those dating tricks and things where you switch and pretend you're somebody, pretend you're each other? If you guys did all that?
So we didn't do that much. I think we were just
much. She said much. She said much.
It was kind of like we're too honest, and we're both so committed to just living in the truth that pretending just feels like weird, like It's not who I am. But there was one time when her boyfriend called the house, and this was back in the day when we had telephones and didn't have a cell phone. And I remembered he called, and I said, hey. And then he kept talking like it was Nandy, and I could not hold it for too long. I'm the worst at playing pranks on people, but I did pretend I was her for a while. And then the other time was we were both used to perform in the Lion King, the stage show in Australia, and I was ensemble and she was a swing. So she'd cover all the singer-dancer roles of the whole thing. It was a monster job. She was amazing at it. I'm glad she got that, because I probably wouldn't have been good at copying, at learning everyone's parts. She's so detailed. So she just smashed it. But so one day she took my role, even though I wasn't injured or anything. And I said, yep, go on. And she was going to be the hyena moment. When Simba's coming out and the hyenas are chasing Simba, she came on and put the whole hyena outfit on, and she comes on the stage with like hooves, like you're pretending to be a hyena, and she came in and she did the choreography wrong.
Oh boy.
So she was supposed to jump in the front of Simba, and you're supposed to like slice the hyena, like grab the hyena's face, and she was facing the wrong way, so that messed up the whole choreography, and she got back off stage. I'm like, you messed it up. I said, now they're going to think I messed up my role.
I was going to say, did you take some heat for that?
They didn't even notice. Actually, I think
all right.
I feel like on that show, the choreographer, because they usually watch the show, or there's like a dance captain or something watching. I don't think they were there that show. I think that was why we did it. We were being sneaky. Sorry, Disney, messing up your whole brand.
No,
they need to be messed up. I got many bones to pick with Disney. It's all right. Y'all do your thing, man.
Thing to talk about too, but I'm not going to bring it into this conversation.
That's right. I got you. No worries.
Understood. Yeah. I see what you did there. Was that a Lion King reference? No, okay. It means no worries. Okay, yeah.
It means no worries.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I love being in that musical. The music's amazing.
So, and then you were on Australian Idol too. And tell me about that experience of being on Australian Idol. And then, of course, let's just go ahead and, while you're talking, go ahead and segue into how Prince discovered you and move into that realm.
Okay. Australian Idol. It was interesting because me and my sister were both auditioning together. And I think I got down to the last, I don't remember how many people, but then Nandy didn't get through one part. And then we both got, weren't supposed to share this when we were back in the day, but we had to create a whole story that, because I left the show. And because we got the Lion King job, me and my sister, I said, oh, Nandy's not going through anymore. I'd like to do it, but we both just got a job that pays us. And we're both going to do the Lion King journey together. So we just took off. I left, Australian Idol, and that was that.
Oh, my gosh. So did you get an opportunity to see Taj on when he did his performance there?
No, I haven't seen it.
Yeah. So Taj, who's on your album, he was a young kid. I mean, I don't know how old he was at the time, maybe 10, maybe somebody in the chat room can tell me. But he was like really young, and he performed Purple Rain. He did the whole solo, everything as a kid. And it was just, and all of the judges were just like gobsmacked. It was just like, what is happening here? He just killed it. It was amazing. So, and he's on your new album, which is incredible. That is so cool. And also, so let's talk about your new album, because you got the amazing Mr. Morris Hayes, which I wasn't aware of his production prowess. Michael, speak a little bit to this. I know May is our guest here, but did you see Morris kind of do a lot of production work when you were?
Oh yeah, I mean, we worked together sometimes back in the '90s. So I'd be over at Morris's studio. I'd need something from him, or he'd need something from me. Yeah, because
I really didn't know that he had those types of chops until Welcome to America, which he was pretty much, the main, focal on that. I was just like, well, okay, so he can do it all to the end game. And so he's actually, if he's there, let's see if he's there. Actually he's not. Morris, you got to connect your mic and camera, and then it says you need to connect your mic and cam before I can add you to the stream. So, wait, we got it slowly and sure.
We got him.
Well, he did something.
Okay. Well, I'll
see.
hold off on my story till we see if we got him, because otherwise I'll tell it with him online.
All right. Yeah. See, so he keeps coming on, and it says to add to the stream, but his picture's not coming up. So I think the audio is on, but the picture is not. So go ahead and tell your story while he figures that out.
Okay. I was just going to say, for instance, sometimes Prince would ask us to do various things in the studio. One thing that Morris and I ended up doing together was we kind of did some additional production on the song "We March" from the Gold Experience. Like we were both. Prince just kind of was like, "Y'all do something with this," and he just kind of turned us loose in the studio. So, yes, I am aware, and soon the whole world will be.
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome. So he dropped off. I guess he's gonna try to reconnect.
Okay.
And then I'll actually. So I'm gonna send him a text real quick to tell him he can join via phone as well.
Sure.
But while I'm doing that, can you tell people about how you connected with Morris? I know you obviously connected through the Prince camp, but as far as in regards to this album, like you weren't doing music previously, and then you started doing music, and then what was the decision process to say, let's get Morris to do it, or did he reach out to you?
I'm gonna start crying about this one. So I just moved back to LA. I was living in Mexico during the pandemic, and it was time to just get to work on the album after that whole, reconnecting with myself journey. and I just I think we were just catching up on FaceTime or something like that. And I was all in my creative flow, and I just jumped on the piano or something or guitar, and I just started playing him. I said, I want to show you a song. And I start just sharing what I was creating, and he goes, oh, we got to do this. He loved the vibration. He loved the feeling of it. I said, really? And at the time I was like, I need to manifest an investor to work on this record with me. And I'm like, I'm going to manifest like 20 grand to get this whole thing popping. And Morris showed up like after that, and I'm learning from manifest, and you got to be specific. Am I asking for just money, or am I asking for something else? Because I said I want it for the album. Morris just showed up, and he's like, let's do it. Let's do this together. So I called him my angel investor.
Yes.
If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be where I am today with this record. And he started playing on the piano alongside one of my songs. This was just remote, and my whole body's just melting. Feeling the vibration of the piano in the music, and I'm like, oh my God, we got to do this. And so, I flew out to his home, and he's got like 2 studios, just all decked out. It's like a retreat where you don't have to think about anything else. You're just chilling in nature, and which is my favorite thing anyway. There's no other distractions.
Oh yeah, amazing. Yes,
fantastic. The whole thing.
Yeah. Well, let's bring him in. He is a long-time Funkatopian. I mean, this brother has probably been with me since day one. I mean, he's been around. He's been on the show many, many times. My good friend, Mr. Morris Hayes, in the house.
Where's he? Oh, there he is. There he goes. Look at him. I can't hear you.
Are you doing that on purpose?
Is he messing around? He's messing around. He's messing around.
He's got to be messing around. He's messing around. Yeah, he's doing it again. He's messing around. We really can't hear you.
We can't hear you. That.
Yeah, you can do that. Sorry.
It felt like it was.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. He was messing around. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can bring him in on.
Morrissey. Oh, so funny.
He's got my direct phone number, so I don't have to give out the regular other phone number. So he'll just call me here in just a second. I'll just put him on.
Okay.
So we'll see how this sync works out.
If he's dialing.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, his mouth is moving.
He has to clear his browser history first. Oh no, hey Morris, just well, okay, I see what you're doing. All right, so you're gonna add an audio thing. Hold on a second. Is this gonna work?
Oh, I see.
Try that.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Oh, watch out!
So smart.
Look at him taking up 2 slots.
Get smart. Darkwing Duck.
Am I in there? Yo?
You in there now?
What's up, everybody?
What's going on, Mr. Hayes? All right, so
Miss May, you ain't the only twin. I got Mr. Hayes over here and Mr. Hayes over here.
Two of you now.
And I'm Dynamite.
That one's camera shy.
That one's camera shy. Very funny.
All right, so tell me about what we can expect with. Did you black? Tell me about what we can expect with this album, Morris. Will it tell your perspective on this, your vibe?
Well, first of all, I'm glad to be once again on the show with you guys, man. You know, my guy Michael Bland and you, Mr. Christopher. Thank y'all for having us on, and I appreciate that. But I have to say, man, it's been a really amazing. Hey, everybody. A real amazing experience working with Maya. You know, it's we worked for years and years from the dancer, type of a vibe where they were like these wonderful dancers, doing the whole thing, and eye candy, and they had the little premieres and at the places with Prince all twinned up and looking cool and doing the whole thing, super sharp and all of this. To moving into being an artist, and it's a whole nother thing, to come in from that perspective, and what I can say truly is that she's not somebody that's just kind of just happened into it and then just kind of like dilly dallying into it. She put a lot of work in. She practices. She does her vocal coaching and everything, and so therefore she's not joking around, man. She came in here and really worked hard and really got her whole vibe together. So I'm very happy to report to y'all that this girl has put the work in. Both of them in their own rights have just done really wonderfully since their time with Prince. And so I'm glad, sometimes circumstances as to how you, come together may not be the greatest, but then it's the outcome and it's what happens. She's like family. So it was like an easy thing of just saying, hey, well, come on out in the woods and let's work, and just come out there. And she hung out for a few weeks and months and stuff to work, and so that was cool. And I'm really happy that the record turned out great. I considered some of my better work. I've worked on a few things, and I appreciate the thing about the Welcome to America. That was cool. But, that was Prince. And all he asked me to do was just do some touches and enhancements and things of that nature, and that's cool. Because when Prince asks you to do anything, I mean, he don't need nobody to do nothing. So the fact that he would ask you to do something, he's throwing you a bone, and he's just giving you a shot to say, hey, let's just, stretch out. And so I appreciate that from Prince. That was very cool for him to do that. But this is stuff that, I helped write some of it. And, she came with all of her stuff, and, I did my thing on it and did that. But this is our, kind of like musical baby that he's gotten worked on and got, birthed out. And it's now to that point where it's time to share that music with everybody. So I'm very happy about that, man. And I'm looking forward to, what people think about it. I think they'll be pleasantly surprised. I know I was. So hopefully that'll be the consensus of everybody that listens to the music.
Yeah. And you got this opening act slot this Thursday, opening up for former members of MPG.
Correct.
And then on top of that, you actually have a listening party as well that's going to be happening. Tell us about the listening party, Maya.
Yeah, that's going to be Saturday in St. Paul. A friend of mine's got this beautiful loft space, so it's going to be a beautiful, intimate gathering where we're going to share the record for the first time, which I'm nervous. It's so scary.
Be scared.
It's so vulnerable. It's like, yeah, I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, we're going to be kind of hosting it in like a ceremonial kind of space. In Los Angeles, I do these gatherings called oneness gatherings, and we create like a safe space for people to just come and be themselves. I lead like a guided meditation and a sound healing, and then people just get up on the microphone and do like spoken word and perform or do whatever their expression is. So I'm kind of bringing that vibration into the space, so it's just a bit more like personable and connected, which is, you know, what I'm about. Like, I love performing on stage, but I also love just connecting with people and having everyone kind of on the same playing field, where we're just like, oh, hi, there you are. Like, there's no separation, you know, between us as beings and spiritual beings living in this body, and we can just kind of ground in and connect. So it's going to be a really special evening, and would love everyone to come and drop in deeper with you all and learn more about your stories. And there might be an opportunity for you to share, you know, anything that you want to, your own music or your story, and just so we can kind of bridge that gap between, you know, I guess idol celebrity energy and drop it back into, oh, we're all humans here. We've all got talents. We've all got gifts. We shine in our own light, in our own right. And yeah, that's what this album's about. That's what, you know, my mission is to bring that connection and that equality to everyone. And that's going to be the space on Saturday where we just, hi, I'm right here. I can touch you. I'm not separate on some big stage, which I love, by the way. I love being up on the stage. And I love being, you know, with the people, you know, community.
Oh.
Feel that energy expanding out? That was Morris. That was Morris.
Oh, I can't hear you.
Here
Mr. Christopher, we can't hear your microphone.
Oh yeah, that was Morris. He's yeah, he basically got his microphone working, it looks like, on his computer. So now we had that loop going on. Sorry about that.
Loop. Okay, great.
Yeah. I didn't want you to hear me clacking out the scroll that's going at the bottom of the screen. I didn't want you guys to have to hear me go clackety clack clack. So I forgot to pull that off. But
yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's okay. So yeah, this listening party. How nervous are you about this?
I mean, it's like kind of just like exciting. Like,
yeah. And that's one thing I want to make sure that you're aware of too, that you received this energy, and you know this is basically your blessings coming out. So there shouldn't be any other energy other than you picking up your instrument and doing your thing. And as long as you are connected with that, it's going to come out exactly like you want it to. So it's going to be, yes. I think it'd be pretty awesome to experience it if anybody gets out. A matter of fact, as you can see on the scroll, I did set up a shortcut link on funkatopia.com/Maya, MAYA. That takes you directly to Maya's website, where you can purchase tickets to those listening parties, tickets, whatever the show. And that's going to be awesome. And the album is called Awakening. Why didn't I screen capture the album cover? But the album is called Awakening. You said you were going to try to possibly try to play something, or maybe yes, no.
Yeah. So just a quick update. The album is not released yet.
Right.
So there is no album cover yet.
Oh, I saw something that said Awakening on it, and I assumed that was the album cover. My bad.
The event. But just to let you know that the music I'm going to be sharing on Saturday is the first glimpse of the album. So it's not even out for anyone else's ears, but everyone that's going to be there. So it's like an exclusive sneak peek before we drop.
How long are you going to be playing for?
I'm not going to be playing. I'm playing the album.
Okay.
Record. Yeah.
No, wait a minute. I want to make sure I understand correctly.
Morris is
You're opening for the NPG on Thursday, right? Did I hear correctly? Yeah. Are you going to be performing any music from your record?
Yes. That's where I'm playing.
So that's where the people will be able to hear it.
Yes.
I got it.
If they want to hear the actual recordings and the record, then that'll be Saturday.
Sure.
Morris is
okay.
Getting it clear.
Just for anybody, I just trying to keep it clean. Keep it clear.
Yeah, and Neil, you go to details for Saturday, just go to funkatopia.com/Maya, MAYA, and it will take you right to Maya McClean's, the page on their site that has those tickets for that, all the details on that too. Or you can just go to her website at mayamclean.com and go through the process and find it yourself. But I try to make it a little bit easier for you, funkatopia.com. Yeah. Just
everybody,
all right there. It's
can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
And I'm gonna have to rock out, but I just wanted to just thank you guys again, and anybody that's in the sound of this. Hey, come on down to First Avenue. Check out Maya. We got Brown Marcus gonna be like rocking with us, man. I can't even tell you. You know, Brown is the reason why I'm in Minnesota. Brown and Craig Rice are like the two people that allowed me to like that connection brought me here. From Maserati and back in the 80s, like 86, 87, when I came to, thank you. When I came to Minneapolis, man, it was Brown, and I used to work with Brown at his studio. I was like an apprentice working at Brown's studio in Eden Prairie. And man, that was my entry into the purple world. And so to have Brown over here, man, on this bass, and playing again with him, man, it's awesome, man. And Mark, you know Mark Brown, man. Brown is funky. That bubble is Brown, you know. Mm-hmm. So you know, we're very happy to have him on, and very happy to have Maya and doing the thing. Just come on down to First Ave and then go over to the listening party. It's gonna be some fun. It's gonna be chill. It's gonna be dope. Trust me, man. I feel she can be nervous because she's doing her little thing, but hey, man, I think it's dope. I feel good about it. It's different stuff for me, you know. I always tease, you know me, I'm funny, man. I always like, man, what you doing with all this tree hugging music? You got all your your bush gathering music, but it's sonically,
I'm a tree hugger.
You know, sonically is great listening to. You know, if it's meditative and you know, this kind of stuff. Now, it's not Andre 3000. It's not that. but it's very cool, everybody. And I, like I said, I'm confident. I feel good about it. If I always try to listen to it if I have nothing to do with it, would I?
Morris did amazing on it. His strings, the piano, all of the composition, and the vibrations that he brought in, like, even though it was something that was like a blending of these two worlds of, like, you know, the past and the future and this spirituality, and then Morris's vibe. You know, he did a really amazing job, and you know, it feels like me. And he was such a space for my creativity, with providing, like, a lot of other producers I've worked with, like they're always putting themselves in. They're like, you can do music anytime. Like, this is my music, you know. And so Morris was like, I can really feel why Prince wanted to work with him for so long, and just, you know, kept him around for so many years, because he's just such a space for artists to just create, you know, what's coming through without feeling like they have to limit themselves at all. It was a really safe space for me to work with Morris, and so I thank you, Morris, and just always going to get emotional when I cheers. Morris has the biggest heart. Like, he's just all love. He's like a love bug, and you know, when I get nervous, he's just always making jokes and, you know, making me laugh when I'm feeling tense or attached to things, and helps me loosen up with all of his comedy stuff. And you know, so it's fun. I just love working with him.
He is a joker. He is so much fun to hang out with, and guy can never stop making jokes. Michael, I know you're fully aware of Morris's.
Morris was quite often the saving grace of the day, because some days we couldn't say nothing. We would just be, I mean, you know, when you're working with somebody as intense as Prince, some days are diamonds, but a lot of them days are just lumps of coal, you know. And we'd be all, you know, in the dressing room or in the rehearsal room or somewhere, and Morris would just kind of just break the tension, and we could recalibrate and, you know, get back to it. You know, no, Morris was very valuable in that respect.
I got to put his audio thing back up because we lost his audio again. There you go.
And when it wasn't me, it was Sonny. Sonny just, you know, man, I'm very fortunate, man. I love these brothers, man. Barbarella, Sonny, all my bandmates, man. You know, we had really some incredible times, and I'm happy to see everybody that's out here still doing this music, still doing the thing, man. Their individual thing. That's what Prince wanted us to do. He always talked about, you know, the comparison to like us with like Grand with like Sly Stone and Grand Central Station. He said, "Look at Larry. Look how he did when you know he went out and had hits like Sly. You know, he wanted all of us to do the same. He was like, after we worked with him, we all learned a lot, you know. And of course, there's no, you know, I don't care what we do. There's only one Prince, and so I don't even try to go down there. I'm gonna do." Prince was an anomaly. He and Michael Jackson and the ilk like that. You know, I'm not trying to be that, but I do appreciate what we've learned and what all of us have taken away from this, and to apply to our own situations. You know, it's just like he's a musical father to all of us, and so we just accept the lineage of being able to be there and learn and then do what we do. You know, but he was a great, and he's a, you know, one of those rare artists. You know, and so we were very fortunate and very blessed to have been able to work with this cat. So I'm gonna dip out, y'all. I hope to see you folks on Thursday. First Avenue, I got all kind of technical things going on over here today. Me and Kip about to work on it and get it together.
Oh yeah.
But Michael B, man, always Mr. Christopher.
Yes, 3 cheers for Morris. Cheers, cheers, cheers.
Hurrah,
hurrah, hurrah.
Hurrah.
Y'all have a good one, man.
All right, man.
All right, Morris. We'll see you later,
now.
brother.
All right.
Okay.
Mr. Morris says. So yeah, I mean, I was so excited. How many tracks are on this album?
At this moment, there's 10. Maybe another one might be slipping in there. We're still figuring that out. But we do have a bit of a deadline coming up. So Morris is like, "Oh, let's just do this one." And now I was like, "Morris, slow down." So we'll see. At this point, it's 10.
Yeah. And I tried to, I didn't share all the pictures. I got so many amazing photos. I mean, just incredible. Yeah.
Love it.
Now, on some of these things, like some of these dance moves and stuff that you came up with, did he kind of give you a lot of freedoms? Say, what are you feeling in this song? What direction, if any, did he give you? Or, I mean, what was your limitations?
So what he would do is he'd just send us a track, and it was funny to me because I had never, a lot of his music I never heard before, except for maybe, what was it called? Diamonds and Pearls record. That's the only record I was really privy to.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah,
that's a good start.
All the other songs, I'd only heard them live. So he would send us tracks, and I was like, "This sounds so like tinny," and like not. I'm used to all the energy of the live, explosions and everything being so epic. So
that's because that band recorded in the studio live. That was all of us at the same time. It might as well have been. Yeah. It had different energy. Yeah, you're right.
Different energy with the live stuff. I was like, why isn't Prince recording everything just live tracks? It's so much epic. But yeah, he would give us songs, and he would like, "Oh, I want you to choreograph to these songs," and then we'd just go away and rehearse them, and me and my sister would create the choreography and learn the backing harmonies, and then would bring it to him, and he'd ask to see it, and then he'd kind of edit things that he'd want. So one thing that he would do, like we're dancers and we can hear like different rhythms and then also counts. Like sometimes we would make up counts in our heads. And this we had this experience with him when we went to a salsa club together, and me and Nandy are salsa dancing, and we wanted to dance with him, and he doesn't know how to do it. And I'm like, he goes, "What are you dancing on?" Like I really got to understand him as a musician, because salsa is like 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6. Like there's a count that kind of moves through the beat. And he's like, what instruments are you dancing on? And I was like, I guess no instruments. There's no rhythms that we're hitting. That's the part of the instrument. It weaves through the whole thing.
Makes sense.
And because I'm like, so he's probably hearing it as the keyboard. But my feet aren't going. So he's hearing every music hit. horns, whatever. And so
Sure.
sometimes if we would choreograph to, certain counts or a different feel that isn't an instrument, he'll go, oh, okay, do a hit on that horn count there. Like make sure you're hitting some of those instrument parts as well.
Sure.
To tie in the actual instruments. And I was like, oh yeah, that's a good idea because I'm hearing things from a different perspective. So it's great.
Well,
but if you would edit.
This photo, this is that ADHD thing. This photo, and you saw my post, yeah.
I saw that post. I was laughing. I love that.
Michael, I don't know if you saw the post, but basically it showed a pie chart of ADHD, and it talks about, why we interrupt. And it's like, because something's on my mind right this moment. And if I don't say it, I'm going to forget it. Like it had like little pie charts.
Oh, boy. That would probably give me anxiety to just look at it.
Yeah, no, it's great.
I don't want to get involved in all that.
But this is a picture from the Super Bowl halftime press jaunt, and this is where he says no question,
I remember that.
Yeah, and then
he questions and then he just cuts everybody off.
Right. Yeah. So good. Tell me how he prepped you guys for that moment. Like, did he say this is what I'm gonna do, or
so he didn't tell anyone anything. We were in the dark just like everyone else.
Sounds about right.
He never doesn't tell. I mean, Michael knows. He doesn't give anyone any insight. There's no insider information.
You're only told what you need to know.
Me, myself, and I in Princess Purple Haze. Yeah. That's basically in his purple universe, just creating his own game out there in the world. I love that. Though. It was so good.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too, is that I love the way he did it with Third Eye Girl. He just started saying the name Third Eye Girl, and nobody knew really what it was. I mean, even the girls in the band were like, Hannah and Eda were like, it was like, oh, what is that? It's cool. And then they didn't even know that it was the name of the band until they were introduced that way on the Tonight Show, which is hilarious to me. But man, it's just incredible that, being able to kind of go to all these gala events, and you've got to be thinking to yourself, I mean, how overwhelming is this? I mean, because what were you doing right before this? I mean, it wasn't the Lion King stuff, was it? I mean, what preceded this?
So we had just moved to America at the time, and we were dancing for Lula Washington, or like an African-American modern dance company. And it was really interesting because me and my sister, and Prince knew this, so it's going to be a funny story. Me and my sister, our trajectory was to dance with Michael Jackson. That was our dream. Michael Jackson was my Prince for all the Prince lovers out there. Michael was mine. And so we're just like, we're going to dance for Michael Jackson, and we're going to America. That was our dream. And so we were dancing for this dance company. And after a while, I'm like, it just didn't feel right. I was like, what are we doing here? Our dream was to dance with Michael Jackson and be like a kind of backup singers and dancers and stuff, not so much like doing modern dance, And so one day we were headed to rehearsals. We were doing shows and stuff with them, and like the Greek theater and stuff. And we just kind of called up and said, I think we're done. They let us go. Like it was like easy, like it wasn't even a thing. I was like, oh, well, that was good. Like I don't like letting people down, but we just had to kind of shift. And then 2 weeks later, we auditioned for Prince and got the job.
Wow.
That was it.
That's great. How old are you in this photo here?
I don't know. I'm so bad with timelines. That was when we're in Europe, in London. So what year was that? I don't remember the year. 2027. 2007.
We're not there yet.
We just told you she's got issues with time. Time is not a linear thing.
Time, I'm all in floating around in the universe. So I don't really know how we're there.
That's probably why you merged well with Prince too, because he's the exact same way. So I mean, being singers and dancers, did this feel unusual to you? Kind of being, just his companions walking around. How did that feel?
I mean, that was so powerful because we were in London on that shot, where we're looking at the camera. We're going to, I think it was a Born Ultimatum premiere in London, and the paparazzi in London, it's like crazy. Like that's what the energy is when Prince is around. It's so crazy that energy. In America, we never experienced that, or in LA anyway. But London, it's just the cameras are just like all crazy, and so we're just like getting out of that limousine and strutting down that carpet. It was hilarious. Putting on sexy faces. It's all a game. We like put it. Let me look good, and Prince loves it. Like he always sucks his cheeks in. It's such a game, and I love cracking the like everything's a performance kind of thing. Let me look good and sexy and stuff. But the one thing that happened on that shot, which was really hurt my heart, when the paparazzi were going, Prince, look at the camera, blah, 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 or yelling at him. He just walked. He didn't look or stop or do anything or give the paparazzi the time of day. We just walked into the theater, and I heard someone yell out, "You faggot!" Like the British are so harsh with their language. And then when we got in the theater, he's like, "You walk down the red carpet with two beautiful girls, and they still think you're gay." Like it hurt my heart. I said, "That's so rude." Like it just felt so aggressive, and when they don't get what they want, they're like vultures. It was disgusting. It hurt my heart to hear, them calling that, and just calling him a name. It was gross. And then the other one,
because Morris Day called him that in Purple Rain.
Yeah,
I was like, whoa.
Yeah. Well,
they had their whole behind the scenes jokes and stuff, and food fights. Prince used to tell us the story about all their food fights behind stage and stuff like that, and throwing eggs across the stage. So they were all jokers. So funny.
Yes, gosh, I mean, let's just say, you're definitely #blessed to kind of be in his orbit like this, and I mean, both of you too, Michael, obviously, but you don't. It's not lost on you of how amazing.
I don't think so. But and all things being equal, it certainly was an opportunity, but that opportunity comes and goes based on what Prince sees in you. So, I think he very much looked at it as a collaborative thing. We all worked with him. I mean, because you can't work for a genius like him. You have to work with him. There's a difference. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he used to say in the beginning, I'm like, how long are we working with you for? We didn't have any agreements. There's nothing written. Mm-hmm. And so I used to how long is this going for? Like, do we have an agreement? Like, of how long do you want to work with us? And he's like, until we want to leave. Like, it's just, there's no contracts. It's just like, well, if you don't want to be here, you just leave, or, It's just like all in flow state and no agreement.
Yeah, I mean, I think that he would wait for the sign, the signs that just would appear to him. Like, if it's time to change, if it's time for someone to, go elsewhere and seek their fortune, I think he just answered to whatever vibrations were coming to him.
Yeah, he did say that when me and my sister stopped dancing, he said, it really messed up my world when you guys stopped dancing, because he goes, I didn't know how to call on you anymore, but that was felt really beautiful, because it was like he was honoring our path, where we were headed, and we were doing music at the time, and production stuff. Sure. And anyway, he ended up calling us in to do production stuff, and my sister did some photography for him, and we did some branding, filming for his Hit and Run campaign.
Sure. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I got to express this while it's in me, that that's part of the thing that's the part that I would see with Prince, just like the fact that Prince remains Prince through all of it, through all the adversity, people coming and going, and that's just got to be a sad position to be in sometimes, because people come in and they work with you intimately. You couldn't get more intimate with Prince than working with him at what he was doing, and just to be in his position. That was the part that I felt the most regretful for him was that he had something to protect and continue to push forward, where the rest of us were somewhat transient. You know what I mean? We've spent years or months with some people, but that had to be a very kind of difficult thing for him to deal with, I would imagine. I mean, who's to say? It just, you know, and we often project, you know, what we think onto other people. But I mean, I what I could see of his lifestyle, he spent probably more time alone than he preferred to, you know. I mean, he really,
I felt like I picked up on some moments of like when tours were going to end.
yeah,
I could feel his energy shifting because it's going to be over, and then he's not with the family anymore, you know, and then he's going to be alone, and everyone flies home, and then he's by himself. I felt like I was picking up on a little bit of like something there for him with that. Like it's a lot, and then also the, you know, I can imagine, you know, being the artist at that level, you know,
and you set the stage for everybody,
and you know,
right? He set the stage for all of us, but then, you know, we go on, and then he's like, okay, well, okay, what's next for me? You know?
Yeah.
I don't mean to make it all. I don't mean to.
Look, he's a human, and he's dealing with what he's dealing with, and he's an artist that's positioned himself in that way, and it can get lonely up the top. That's why I want to do. That's why I want to do this listening ceremony, because there's, you know, there's an experience that I have of separation, and I'm a huge advocate of we're all one and we're all together in this life together, and you know, and we don't need to really have that separation anymore with social media. Everyone's a damn celebrity in themselves. Everyone's just sharing that. Everyone's got their own story. You know, everyone's creating their own magic in their own right, and you know, that's why I love why this listening ceremony is so important to host it in the way that I am. Is just we just get to connect. It's lonely, you know, being at the top like that.
Well, and again, to kind of put a bow on the Prince thing, he was also a very symbiotic person. So he had this flow of energy, and he just needed to have other people in the room to flesh that out. I mean, that's just how it was.
Translators in a sort of way.
Right. Exactly. I mean, he can't. Yeah, he did do all the pieces, but he needed other people.
Oh, yeah. Well, when you're alone, where are you expressing it? Just to yourself in your own mind? You know, there has to be that collaborative thing, and that's the co-creation. That's why space holders are so important, you know, to have a sounding board for your creation and getting that reaction, because, you know, we're here to experience life and reflect off each other. And if you're doing it all alone, then what are you doing it for? You know, my dad doesn't play guitar anymore because he probably didn't have a platform. And I can feel that he's just all kind of depressed and not just not doing it. You know, I went to visit him, and I'm picking up his guitar. I'm trying to, come on, Dad. He did not pick up the guitar once. And my dad used to play like George Benson.
Oh, you're kidding me. Your dad's that bad?
My dad, was one of the best in Australia years ago.
Well,
and he's percussion and steel pan. He's from Trinidad and Tobago.
You know, I'm trying to, yes.
And he just did not pick up the guitar once. It's just like he's all in his own, you know, space, and doesn't feel like there's an opportunity to share his gift anymore. So sad.
Yeah. Being in music is, I mean, somebody told me their mom said, I could never do what you do. And he said, well, why not? She said, being a musician or being in the music business, either way, there are so many disappointments.
Yep.
It can be just one after another. And it's like you have to have a really buoyant spirit, you know, and you have to be determined to do anything in this business. People make it hard, you know?
Yeah, they do. It's tough. And this, I've got a couple photos talking about this brand new album. I captured some of these. Who
are the black guys?
It looks like Kip and Morris right there.
I love Kip.
Me too.
You got a phone charger?
He's a bad dude.
That's us working together in the studio. Kip came in and just smashed it. He's done a lot of vocal arranging. He's got the most beautiful ear. Just hearing him in the studio, of like when I sing certain things, what's that? I forget what it's called. That gift where you can see color.
Synesthesia.
Yeah, I think he's got something like that.
Okay.
And so when he's in the studio, he's like, oh, like you can see the notes that I'm singing and stuff. So cool. Yeah. But his ear, like the way that he hears harmonies and all these layers, it's just, like amazing. And I was like, I need you, get in here. But yeah,
Kip's great. Yeah.
Team.
Yeah, matter of fact, I had Dewan on the show. Dewan was saying, I mean, this must run in the family, because Dewan was saying the same thing, that he saw colors whenever, especially in a lot of music. And the reason why that came up was because I said, so what's your favorite song? And he said, My Computer. I'm like, what? I was like, what a weird song to just randomly pick. And he said that song, My Computer, if you do have synesthesia, it literally is full. It like floods the speakers with colors. I'm like, wow, okay. I wish I had that then. I wish that inflict me with that, please.
Yeah, you're just sensing music in a totally different way. In all these, in a different, it's amazing. I'd love to have that.
Yeah, you know what? To be fair, that was the standout track to me the first time I listened to Emancipation.
Yeah,
I was like, that song is, because it's sometimes Prince could just be 100% honest, and he could break your heart doing it. And that song, while I dig listening to it, it's like, yeah, man, I know what that's like, to have time on my hands and nobody to talk to, He was just making a direct statement to me. And I mean, it's a Joni said, it's a personal song. Yes. I think that's why I like it, because there's all that there is to it is really just like a transparency, I guess. You can't always see Prince through a clean lens. Like, he does a lot of this in his music. But on that song, there's something very, unhidden and direct,
Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Wow. All right. So there's also this, obviously, I want to make sure that everybody sees this, because we want to make sure that we let people know that on July 12th from 7 to 10 at the Schmitz Artist Lofts in St. Paul, it's the listening ceremony for the Awakening album, A Night of Sound, Soul, and Awakening. And while this is just a screen capture, so you can't click that to buy tickets, you can go to funkatopia.com/Maya, MAYA, and you'll be taken right to that page. So it's just like you're clicking that, but you got to go. But you got to go and check that out and sing. So
and you can go on my Instagram too, is at Maya McClean, and go into the bio, and then there'll be a link to get tickets there as well.
Yep, exactly. Now, I hear that you might be playing us a little something tonight. Is that true, or is it not true?
Yeah, I'll give you.
Okay, I just wanted to verify. All right,
yeah, ready for
we'd
that
love
now?
to hear. Yeah, absolutely, we'd love to hear it.
So, Christopher, when I was in the waiting room, you shared something about water. You were talking about wanting to lots of water or drink,
Yes.
drinking water or something. I was like, oh, okay, I guess that's the one I'm going to play for you. So there's a song that I wrote called Waterfall, and I wrote it during the pandemic, and it's all about kind of cleansing your body and because of the disease of COVID, and following your authentic calling and your path. So
Wow.
it's called Waterfall. If you go, don't follow the road. The unknown is our further road. into the thickest of trees. You might find a world abundant with waterfalls. Feel the clay under the surface. Under the surface is the purest of earth. Lay your body down. Let the mother heal disease. Plunge your tainted soul under the waterfalls. The birds are flying on the wind, they're dancing through the canopies. I feel the spirit of the trees. I feel a rebirth happening. Hey, what
Wow. Amazing. That was fantastic. Wow. Okay.
I didn't know what was going to happen. You got so much control over your voice.
Yeah, so
thank you.
count me blindsided.
That was great.
That's all.
That was great. You are great.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's I guess we have lots of people in agreement here for sure.
Thank you everyone for your feedback.
Yes. Yes, you'll have to watch the replay of this. You have to watch the replay of this too, because I was putting them up continuously while you were playing. Wow. So wow,
I didn't know you had it in you.
Not well. I knew
My
she had
goodness.
talent because Morris had already mentioned to me this girl's got it, and he doesn't say that, and he doesn't put his name on something. So I was just like, all right, so there must be something going on, and wow, that's incredible. That was brilliant. Yeah, for sure. Wow, and that song's called Waterfall. That's going to be on there as well.
Yes.
So is that pretty much going to be the vibe of the album is kind of just being more focusing on the soul and the spiritual side of things, and just kind of all right. So wow, it's
the
gonna be
intention
fantastic.
that I have is just to help people really connect to the truth of themselves, and just remember who they are, that we're spiritual beings having a human experience, and that we can do and be whatever we want to be, and really create from that pure space of higher consciousness. And when we can connect to that, to our higher self and our true self, that's what I call it, or our authentic self, and let go of all of the the limitations that we hold from past traumas or belief systems, limiting beliefs. Once we can strip away all of that. Someone said sexy.
Yeah, I saw that. I put it up. I was like, maybe this doesn't fit.
You can't control what people feel with your music.
You can't control Henry.
And awakening is sexy. I'll take that. It's all about love, the love heart, and
it's
who
a
we
free
are.
world.
Love, so when we sex is a part of who we are, and
yes.
And I can go into a whole nother conversation about conscious sexuality, and
here we go.
deep on that world.
Let's go.
Deep intimacy. We can do another episode on that. How about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. All about that. Sure.
I've done a lot of study and practice and embodiment on conscious relating, that I can support you guys in your marriages. I love it. Take you guys deeper.
Yes,
that's
sounds like an 18 and over show is coming up here, Michael.
I didn't say nothing.
The purity of humanity. I bring it purity into it. It's all about authenticity and truth.
Yes.
That's the other thing. I'm actually an embodiment coach, so I do that work with people and help women connect to their authentic truth in their femininity and intimacy.
Prince 007, yes, she is one of the twins. There's Maya and
oh boy, I guess that's the other thing about being a twin. People will always bring up your other half.
Yes.
See, I told you I was born into a marriage. My other half.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there's Henry following up on his sexy comment. He said, "I'm just saying her voice is nice."
Her voice is nice. I love it, Henry. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. So, and again, all you got to do is go to funkatopia.com/Maya, MAYA, and it will take you right to her website so that you can go to get tickets to that listening ceremony. I know it says listening party in the crawl, but it's a listening ceremony, a night of sound, soul, and awakening. And is there going to be any type of pre-talk discussion, before you do it, or how's the night going to kind of play out?
So we're going to open the night. I usually bring people into the space. If anyone's aware of like smudging, where I kind of help people drop into themselves. We can be out in the world and traffic, and it takes us out of the present moment and connection to ourselves. So we kind of bring people into the space and kind of welcome them in like a ceremonial kind of smudging, which is like either sage or copal. I have this beautiful copal from Mexico, from the jungle. And so I usually kind of anoint people as they come into the space so they can kind of ground into themselves and drop into their own body and awareness, and getting out of their minds and into the present moment. And then we usually start with like a circle, kind of ceremonial circle, where we kind of drop in with one another, and I lead like a guided meditation. I may call Prince into the space, bring his energy in. I've got another story about, I've actually channeled Prince. He's actually come through my body before. So that's involuntary. Wow. So I don't know whether that will happen on the night, but that would be amazing if there's people there that want to connect with him. But I'm going to lead a guided meditation in the beginning, and and then drop people into like a sound healing that I'll lead. And then we'll probably open up to the space for people to kind of share and create their own intentions for being in the space, and being, whatever they want to share for themselves, either like a word or something from their heart where we can really connect with each other. I may lead like a heart opening ceremony or practice with them. I'm going to feel the vibe and just see what kind of comes through from spirit with where people are sitting, and where their energy's at. And then we'll drop into, I'll play the album and people can just kind of lay back and just kind of receive and experience the music and let the music just kind of speak for itself. And then, we'll see how the night goes. There may be opportunity for people to share, their own music or their own stories or poems, or, just a place for us to just kind of connect as community and, on a more like spiritual, like community-based level. So it's, I'd like to hold it like really sacred and honest and authentic. That's like a huge part of who I am. And I like disappearing like the stigma of separation, like people on stage, people, in the audience. I like bridging that gap and bringing everyone into the same space. So we're like, oh, hi, how are you? I can see you. Like, let's just be present with one another and see what comes out from that space and open our hearts. And then we'll complete with like a closing ceremony that will kind of that will close the container so we can all kind of drop in and then bring our energies back to ourselves, because we'll be more connected with one another and everyone will be open and connected. And then we can, before we leave, we bring everyone back into their own kind of energy and autonomy, and then that'll be like the completion of the evening.
Wow. And is the album going to be available for purchase after this, or it is?
Yeah, it's going to be.
You don't have a release date?
It will be released soon. Okay. I'll get back on here when it's out. We can do another one.
Okay. Great. All right.
I got one question though. How long did you know Prince before you sang for him? Or was that immediate?
So what happened was we auditioned for his music video when he was having that project with Tamar. And so he was shooting a music video for a song that I love called Incense and Candles. Yes. And so me and my sister auditioned for that music video, and Fatima was the choreographer.
Oh yeah, she's great.
I was so green. I didn't know anything. I'm like, oh, we're doing an audition for Prince. Okay, he wasn't there. But Fatima was there, but I didn't even know it was her. I didn't know it was his song that was playing. Like, it just sounded a bit different from what I'd heard. I didn't know that that the teacher was actually Fatima, because I didn't even know what she really looked like. I was just green, just off the boat from Australia.
That's all right.
It was hilarious. And so they filmed the audition, and then Prince saw it, and then we got picked from there. So it was for the music video, but then what happened? I think we were rehearsing for it or something. He ended up taking us to Teddy's, the nightclub, and he do you know where that is? The Roosevelt. He used to go to that club.
I've heard that club mentioned a few times. Teddy's.
The Roosevelt.
We weren't done with the rehearsals yet, but he kind of wanted to. Apparently, I feel like he wanted to get to know us. And my sister's ex-boyfriend was there at the time, and he goes, "Prince is vetting you guys. He's asking you all these questions to see what your character is." And we don't even know what we're doing. And he was checking us out to see whether we would be good to work with, making sure that we were, good people and honest and stuff like that. And so, from that moment, he ended up, I think we were rehearsing at his house with Tamar, and something, I think we might have sung for her or did something. And she ran upstairs Prince wasn't there at the time. Oh. She ran upstairs and told him, and she explains it like, they can sing, or something like that. And then he ended up going, oh, they can? And he canceled that whole music video. We stopped it, and then he took us on the road. It's like he wanted to express this like Tina Turner and Ikettes with us in the background thing.
I believe that was the first time I saw you. You went on tour with Tamar, weren't you? You guys were.
We started with Tamar.
Yeah, that's what the first time I had seen you guys was at that show. Man,
our rehearsals for the big time.
Yeah, I guess so.
He say to us, he said, and this was hilarious. He's like, he said, well, would you, when I do my show, would you want to work with Tamar or with me? So cute. Like it was a bit, I don't know, concerned that would stay with Tamar or something. I was this show is you. You did all the
all
music.
him. It really is.
It's all you.
It's all him.
Yeah.
It was funny.
Yeah, I always thought about that too. The fact that, even back in the 80s when he had the time and Sheila E. and the Family and all these bands that he had going at the same time, I thought to myself when I was sitting there watching Morris Day and the Time, and I thought, how crazy would it have been if all of this stuff had been released as Prince? Like if Prince had released it himself, not, just giving these songs at the time, people would have just been mind boggled. Because I still think there's still millions of people that have no idea that Prince wrote those songs and believe it or not, outside of this purple circle, there are people that have no idea that he wrote Manic Monday, that he wrote this.
Sure.
It's mind boggling. It's unbelievable. It's content.
I'll tell you what freaks me out, man. I just, for some reason the other night, I went on online and I started listening to Prince originals. And somebody had sent me an email a while back saying, you should really hear it because it's different with Prince singing these songs. And I was thinking to myself, well, how different could it be? But they were really right. Like the way he sings 100 miles per hour, it's like, man, he shouldn't even let Maserati touch it.
Yeah.
It's just unreal. I mean, his lead vocals are just so effortless and he's singing them with the insight. He's singing the lyrics with the insight of being the writer. So there's a whole different sort of emotional constitution to the music when he's singing. It really does make a difference. I mean, I really enjoy listening to those songs with him singing. I really do.
Well, and I hope this doesn't get too deep, but Michael's talking about the salsa story. She already told that, Michael, but yeah, that is a hilarious story. But I don't know if it's going to get too deep or not, but Joni says, Maya, did you practice these spiritualities around P? And if so, how did he respond to it? I asked because you were around him during the time that he was heavily into, obviously, the Jehovah's Witness religion. Was it just something that you guys kind of kept quiet, or is it something new that I explain that dichotomy?
I wasn't so expressive of, my journey at the time. I was still kind of in the beginning when I was working with Prince. I mean, my mum was spiritual. She was always trust in the universe and the universe will provide. And I believe that religions and all belief systems all tie into the same frequency, which is just God and love energy at the end of the day. And we just have different interpretations of it. That's my belief system. And I'm not, I don't limit everyone. I accept everyone's belief systems. I'm like fully open to everyone else's, beliefs and what has them feel like they're at home with God, spirit, the universe, Allah, whatever the name is. So I believe, my belief systems are pretty open. I just accept everyone for their own journey and their understanding. And great, if that works for you, I love it. And what works for me, I love it. So Prince, he was heavily Jehovah's Witness at the time. But I'd heard stories of him, that he'd gone through so many different incarnations around his beliefs. Like he'd studied Buddhism, Christianity, like he's studied so many different religions anyway. So for me, what I saw was, this is just another part of his learning as a spiritual being.
Yeah, he was a seeker.
Of his like seeking knowledge and wisdom and spirituality and absolutely in all these different frames. Like he went from here and then he's over here. I don't even know if he was religious when he was younger. I don't know where he was in the beginning, but he was definitely heavily into Jehovah's Witness. There was some. Do you guys remember The Secret?
Mm-hmm.
That movie that came out about manifestation.
Yes,
I was actually sharing this story earlier. He brought the whole band into his living room and sat us down to watch The Secret. And he's like, I don't know what religion this is, but just watch it. And he walked out. He never sticks around. And then we're just sitting there and we're watching it and was like, oh, this is great. I loved it. And so he was the one that actually introduced it to us. And then the whole band went to a dinner after that, we had already been rehearsing all day, and we took a break to watch The Secret that Prince introduced us to, and then about manifestation. Then we sat down and had dinner. I said, I don't want to go back to rehearsal. We've been rehearsing all day. Let's use this tool. I said, let's secret that we don't have to go back to rehearsals. This is me and my sister, and we're all at the table trying to get everyone all in the manifestation circle together. And Morris goes, nah, we've got so much to do. I've got to do all this programming, blah, 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 blah. And I said, all right, you create your reality. 5 minutes later, Otis calls, which was our guy, and he goes, rehearsals is over for everyone except for Morris.
Yep. Well, there it is.
It worked. Thank you, Prince.
Yep.
Prince teaching
Manifestation.
got me out of rehearsals. And I did it another time too. I said, let's manifest a check after this show, a bonus check. We had a show in Miami or something like that, and I was getting everyone into it. And then our hairdresser's like, oh no, it's not going to happen. I'm like, all right, I got a check. Me and my sister got these bonus checks after that, and the hairdresser didn't get a bonus check.
You have little faith.
You didn't go with the flow with it.
Yeah, you got to. Yeah, it takes some effort. You got to buy in. You can't just sit on the sideline. You got to get involved.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, I loved Prince's, belief systems, even in the Jehovah's Witness. I used to curse a lot, and I probably still do because I do like cursing. I'm from Australia. We came from convicts and sailors and stuff, but in a good fashion, not like from a negative place.
Right. You didn't drop anything during this whole time. You didn't.
No, he didn't.
I haven't cursed.
No.
I'm evolving. I used to be uncontrollable before. Love it. But I used to curse like every now and then in front of Prince, and he was like, "You what? Like, you what?" Like calling me out, and then he started talking to me, and this is when he's a Jehovah's Witness. He goes, words are vibration, and the curse words can be a really negative vibration. I'm like, all right, and there he is, tapped into vibration. He has all that understanding. If he created Third Eye Girl, do you know what that even means? Third Eye Girl. What the third eye is? Yeah. It's our pineal gland. And when we awaken this pineal gland, sometimes the people say that it's calloused. When we're living in our stuck mentalities, or even water in certain environments can callous your pineal gland. So you stop seeing, reality. And I call it like, we're in the matrix, plugged in. And when we're not, stop it. I love it.
Okay. Yeah. I hear you.
Third eye girl. It's our pineal gland. And when we awaken, when we do plant medicine and things like that, it helps you open up your third eye. And then you can actually see beyond the physical realm and connect to who we truly are. I mean, I've had Kundalini awakenings. I did not know what that was when it happened. I wasn't even I was songwriting, and I had a Kundalini awakening, and I got connected to everything that I am, not in the body, but I was still in the body. And it was funny because all my emotions were all over the place. Like my emotions were uncontrollable, laughing, crying, like hysterical laughing. It was so fun. Like felt like full on freedom.
I love that when that happens. It's amazing. Yeah.
Like that kind of convulsing, but then crying too, because my body.
I've done it on this show, Michael. That happened just a few shows ago, where I just kind of get the laughing.
You just call it getting bugged out. What's wrong with you, Chris?
There's an energy tied to that, though. There's an energy tied.
I
don't know, man.
Yeah, when we awaken our pineal gland and our consciousness, that's what the album's about.
Well, I hope you folks are going to be there at the listening. Well, first off, you got to be sure to make it there too. I'm trying to click, and also because I'm trying to find this right here. July 10th, First Avenue. So this Thursday, the music of Prince featuring former members of the New Power Generation and Brown Mark from the Revolutions, happening July 10th, which is this Thursday at First Avenue. And Maya McClean, who just got a taste of that amazing song called Waterfall, she is going to be opening this show. So you're going to be able to get an opportunity to hear this music live. Of course, you got to hear it here first. So, sorry about that, but it is what it is. Still get tickets for this because she's going to be opening up. And then on top of that, then later on, just a couple of days later, then she is going to be doing, I got to go the other way. She's going to be doing there it is right there, invitation for the listening ceremony. And you can go to funkatopia.com/Maya, Maya, and get tickets to this as well, and be able to experience that whole spiritual journey that will be the awakening, and you'll be able to get this album too. So, man, thank you so much for coming on and sharing all the stories, and for playing and just blowing our minds. Unbelievable. I can't thank you enough.
Oh, thank you so much for having me in, and
I hope you had a good time.
Yeah, I loved it. You guys have got great energy, and it was fun connecting with you even before I was even on. Like, these guys are so much fun. And Michael, I'm like, did we never play together? What was up with that?
Listen, when we were at the Excel Center, see, I don't speak to people I don't know generally. I don't invade people's space like that. And nobody bothered to introduce me to you or your sister. So I was like, well,
I don't think we've ever met, really.
Okay. Weren't the both of you there at the Excel Center?
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw you. Maybe you didn't see me.
No, I don't know.
That's okay.
How many people?
And somebody said you haven't played together yet, so I guess let's not.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yet.
This is the first album of many. I'm around. I'm cheap. Somebody call me to do something.
Jump on in the band and we'll just tour the world together. That's my manifestation.
Hey, listen, there are.
So I'm going to tap you into my vision right now.
Okay.
I want everyone's support in this manifestation.
Hey, Michael, be prepared to be manifested.
I'd have a lot of explaining to do to a bunch of people if I just ran off with Maya McClean. Some people would come looking for me. I appreciate it.
Sorry. I'm calling in. My vision is to create such a beautiful experience for people in my shows that it's kind of like a mix between like Prince's concerts, but in a more feminine channeled essence at that level, and also a mix of Tony Robbins, where there's this intermersement of transformation. So people that come to the show actually awaken and transform. And then they leave being able to implement a new way of being and new tools and a new opportunity for themselves in their own lives.
Wow. Sounds like it's going to be about to be some amazing experiences for sure.
Epic.
Well, you're stacking the deck mighty high. So now
I
want to see what happens.
Now, Neil did ask, will there be listening parties elsewhere? He's specifically mentioning
where are you, Neil?
LA.
Want me to come here to LA? Yes, I'm definitely going to do one in LA.
I'm seeing multiple people here. Neil Henry, the sexy guy.
Sexy guy. I know.
I've never met him.
What sexy want to know?
Nickname now, sexy guy.
He wanted to know if they're both out of LA. So so obviously you have
follow me on Instagram, because I'm going to put everything on there. So anyone that wants to come or wants to know about my shows when they're up, just message me on Instagram, stay connected, TikTok. I'm going to be doing some remote stuff too, like live on there, little sneaky little ceremony, intimate sessions there too, but on TikTok. But let me stay in contact with me, send me a DM. I really want to connect with you guys. I also have I don't know if this is on my Instagram, but send me a DM and say you want to be invited to my my awakening circle. I'm creating an online community, so I'd love you guys to be all a part of that, where you can share your own stories of transformation and awakening, and also connect with me there as well. So send me a DM, say I want to be a part of your awakening circle, which is all online, and we can connect there. But I'll keep everything up to date on my Instagram and TikTok and things like that. So I'd love to have you guys there and to share these beautiful experiences as I keep evolving.
Well, again, funkatopia.com/Maya will take you directly to that website, and then you'll be able to actually click on all the social Instagrams and everything. So you don't have to worry about remembering stuff. There it is, funkatopia.com/Maya or MayaMcClean.com. You can just go directly there if you want, but I was trying to make it easier for you. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Maya McClean.
Absolutely.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. An honor to be with you both, two beautiful kings holding space for funk, for all things Prince and music, and keeping the conversation going. And I see what you're doing here, and it's really beautiful.
Thank you so much. Please come back.
All the people.
Back.
Yeah, I'd love to come back when the album's released and we can go deeper on, on what's next.
Yeah, we need to do an album chat where we talk about each song and the stories behind them. And we do those all the time. That'd be great
to do that.
It's a date.
And I have some plans that I'd like to share when I come back to.
That'd be great.
Yeah,
fantastic. And the love keeps coming, Maya.
Love you, Joni. Alana, thank you, Alana. Love you guys. So good to talk to you.
Yeah,
and be here with you.
Yeah, it's been an amazing night.
Hi, Lisa.
Thank you guys so much. Maya McClean, everybody. All right.
Bye, Michael.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Mr. Christopher.
Bye. We'll see you guys soon. We'll see you soon. So you're probably getting an opportunity to see her on this Thursday if you go to the show, the Music of Prince show, and that's going to be incredible. That's going to be a lot of fun. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that show in a second. But while we're on this topic, I want to go ahead and while we're on topic of spirituality, I want to talk about this first. So it's kind of, well, I mean, I don't even know how you can segue into this. Look, I spoke about how Prince's music, has the healing properties, and we've kind of talked a lot about that. We delved into it with some of the stuff we were talking about with Maya.
Sure.
Just how he would utilize different sounds and frequencies in his music. It's a little bit unfortunate that he never really created a full album that was kind of like a compilation of those types of songs with that focus on the frequency stuff and all that. So I put one together myself. I went through pretty much his entire released library, because I wanted to stay within the scope. I didn't want to dig into some of the bootlegs and some of the unreleased stuff. I didn't want to dig into any of that because I wanted to make it accessible for people. I went through the frequencies and spent hours. I mean, literally spent hours curating 1 hour of brainwash sound bath, like mental. It's like I just created a perfect head trip journey for you of Prince music that kind of focuses on those frequencies, and I put it on Spotify so that you can check it out. But you obviously need to be in the right mode to check it out. Kind of be able to be, uninterrupted for an hour, along with a great set of headphones, lying down to kind of let it fully wash over you. It's basically a total mindful journey that I put together, and it took a long time for me to put it together. And it's just an hour thing. And there are no hits, by the way, in this lineup. No hits. The songs like Solo, 77, Beverly Park, Osaka, Affirmation, those types of songs. So you're not going to hear Raspberry Beret. It's designed to take you on a journey. But before I give you the address for the Spotify playlist, there is another much more involved way to experience this playlist. And the reason why I made it available on Spotify was because I realized that people are on the other side of the world and they're not going to be in any specific area. But if you happen to be in Minneapolis for all these events and festivities that are going on this week, my Prince Soundbath playlist was made into pretty much a full 4D experience by Dorothy Inez's The Shine Sanctuary. And I think I have her, I do have her flyer here, and she's calling it Purple Frequencies. And basically what she's doing is she has an office in Eden Prairie. And again, it's called the Shine Sanctuary. And it's in Eden Prairie, but top of the line headphones, your eyes get covered. There's the lighting, the whole thing's going on. You lay on this vibroacoustic sound bed mattress that kind of vibrates and envelops you, like the deep bass things just rumbles. It's insane. So you basically go to this place, you put you in this whole entire zone, and then you will experience the playlist that I curated that is filled. It pretty much creates a total mental roller coaster is basically what it is. Emotions front to back. It's an experience. So if you're going to be in Minneapolis this week or Eden Prairie, it doesn't even even necessarily have to be this week. You can be further down the road, but I realize there's going to be some people in town and whatever. Make sure you email her at Dorothy Inez at dorothyinez.com. That's DOROTHYINEZ. I spelled out Dorothy because Dorothy can be spelled in a couple of different ways, but Dorothy Inez at dorothyinez.com, DOROTHYINEZ.com, and book your slot because it's pretty much an entire experience. It's a full hour that I put together, and no idea what the cost is. I'm not getting paid. We don't have any commission arrangement. We don't have anything going on. This was just me wanting to create this experience, and she had all the extra equipment to kind of put you into that mode. And so we created this experience, this Purple Frequency experience. So email her and book up a thing. I don't know when her availability is. I don't know, but if you want to do that, that's how you do it. So, and I also know, as I said in the beginning, I know that some of you can't travel and you don't get to Minneapolis and you want to kind of experience it maybe in the privacy of your home. You're not that kind of person. That's cool too. So I set up a shortcut link to that Spotify playlist, which I call Prince Soundbath, at funkatopia.com/soundbath. That's SOUNDBATH. You have to have the paid version of Spotify because you cannot be interrupted with commercials during this. You have to go through it uninterrupted. And I don't have anything but the paid version of Spotify, but I don't know exactly how the commercials and stuff work on that. But just make sure that you have an hour of uninterrupted space, quiet space, lying down, dark, eyes covered, great headphones, no interruptions for an hour, and get into it. It's great. So again, funkatopia.com/soundbath. And again, if you're going to be in Minneapolis and you want a full 4D experience of Prince music, you can go, just make sure you email Dorothy Inez at dorothyinez.com and schedule a Prince Soundbath session, which she calls Purple Frequencies. And I'm telling you, it's an experience. I've had to listen to that Soundbath for like multiple times to make sure, that get, all that stuff. But yeah, you're right. It's not on her flyer, Melina. You're right. It should be. But maybe she'll create another flyer that kind of gives you a little bit more details as to everything that was involved with that. But yeah, because it took me a long time to curate that playlist and get it just right so that you get into the experience and then it takes you along and then lets you off. And it's pretty amazing. I have thoroughly enjoyed listening to it, especially when I'm working. But to pay total attention to it, wow, it's pretty amazing. So there you go. That's the plug for that. Another thing I want to plug is, again, we talked about the show on Thursday, this coming Thursday, with the former members of MPG that are going to be pulling up now. There it is, the Music of Prince, former members of MPG now. But there's something else that's also going on that same night. And I know that I don't even know why I'm even bothering to do that, because you pretty much there's very, very limited tickets here.
What could that be? Right.
Urban Classic.
What could that be?
The Music of Earth, Wind, and Fire, featuring Michael Bland, JB, Mark Lichtig, G Sharp, Tommy Barbarella, Jeff LeCrone, Ron Long. So, I mean, this is
that's the Urban Classic,
a hell of a show too.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think there's like 5 seats left. So I didn't feel the need to have to like plug it or like let them have this time to promote, man. I mean, I would have been at the NBG show. I was planning on going to first half before I realized we were both playing on the same night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But and that's the reason why I was a little bit concerned on the MPG side. We had spoke about this before, because I was like, oh man, Mike has a show on the same night. And I was, a little bit concerned about the conflict, not to kind of let you guys peek behind the curtains, but the thing about that was that you were like, there's very, very limited seats left in your show. So that's amazing.
Out for 2 weeks now.
So I mean, #blessed. There you go. I mean,
amen.
Yes. Yeah, there she was saying that Trombone Shorty is playing Friday night but that's a different night, so no conflict there.
Oh.
But I do want to kind of talk about this, and because I know Tony M put up a couple of video clips regarding the show on Thursday night, and he said that okay, let me just I'm going to go here. I'm going to go here because this is what I do. I actually created a graphic for this, Michael. You ready? Here's a graphic I created.
Oh man, watch it, man. You need my neck sticking out of there, like waving my hands, like don't do it from behind you, like
it is Mr. Christopher with a bat. For those who are listening, with a bat,
you got the bat
and a hornet's nest.
Yep, bat. Okay, bat the beehive, bat the hornet's nest. Yeah.
So okay, let me just say this. All right,
that's funny
because Tony posted a link and said, if they sell out the show, that NPG would get a star on the side of First Avenue. And just me being me, just trying to kind of think through all this, because it's not that they're not members of MPG, because they are members of MPG. That it is, but they're not even advertising. They're not advertising themselves as MPG. It's
they can't.
Here's the fly. Right.
Where's Rodney when you need him? See, it's funny when people aren't around.
Yeah, well, see, so it says the music of Prince featuring former members of the new power generation with special guest Brown Mark from the Revolution. So I was trying to think of this from different angles, and on top of that, even on their Facebook page, they refer to themselves as "We were the new power generation." So
yeah, well, hey,
okay, yeah, so here's this is the hornet's nest. So the first thing is, as far as First Avenue is concerned, why am I doing this? As far as First Avenue is concerned, do they go, okay, yeah, we can put new power generation on the star, even though that's not what the show was called? I mean, are they sticklers for what they put on the star? Are they going to be like, yeah, I mean, are they sticklers for what they put on the star? I don't know if you know this or not, because if you know this, where is this? Because you have Prince, who obviously, here's the pictures of
Prince
the stars.
right next to Soul Asylum, which is crazy.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got Prince's gold star that's on there now. They made it gold. I guess that was about 4 or 5 years ago, maybe 5. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it was right after he passed. I don't know exactly when it was. I just know it wasn't like that.
Mm-hmm.
But before it
was white like the others. Yes.
Yeah. So and then
whatever they're using.
The Revolution does have their star because it was the Revolution. It was all the Revolution that was there, and they sold out First Avenue, so they got their star. And the time is performed there. The time, and
I saw the time when they came back. I swear I saw the time at First Ave. They played a show, and I stood in the back and had people spilling beer on my shoes and whatnot. So no, it's the time. Everybody was there. Yeah.
So there you have the Prince. Yeah, the Prince. Yeah. It might as well be the Prince.
Yeah.
Prince. And I didn't know that, Samantha. Samantha said it was a street artist that painted it gold, not the venue itself. I did not know that.
Oh, wow.
Oh, so I've been like falsely giving props to First Avenue. I was like, all right, I see you, First Avenue. Okay, so
they would have got around to it.
Yeah, we'll see. So you got Prince that has the star, the Revolution that has the star, and the time that has a star. And so now we're in this thing where Tony's saying that they're trying to get their star if they sell out the show on Thursday, but the show is and the show was very close to sold out, by the way. So both of your shows are sold out. So kudos to you guys. Fantastic. I love the fact that there's enough love to go around for everybody.
Sure.
But it's only Tony and Morris. Levi is not. I don't think Levi is there. Do you know if Levi is there or not? I don't think he is.
I think Odell from Mint is playing guitar. I'm not certain.
So it would be Odell, and then it would be and Sonny is still overseas, right?
He just left like in May.
And
late May, yeah.
I don't think Kirk is on drums. And not Kirk was really, but still we're talking about all the people that have been under the name of New Power Generation. Yourself, being an MPG drummer, you're obviously playing your own event.
Yeah, no, but hey, listen, they're in good hands. Listen, B-Don, Brandon Commodore.
Oh no, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. Their capabilities is nothing to do with this conversation. The conversation is
who's going to be there, who's on stage,
who's representing New Power Generation on the star.
I see. I get what you're getting at now.
So,
all right.
So the star will say New Power Generation, but there's always going to be that invisible asterisk that New Power Generation star is a result of. Because of the work of Tony M and Morris Hayes, even though they're not even referring themselves as New Power Generation, even on their own socials.
I got you. It's a little bit of
I don't know. This is the hornet's nest that I was trying not to swat.
Well, okay,
but I did it anyways.
But now you're in it.
We're in it to win it.
So I mean, and I'm not saying this adversarially, but it's like, what is the point you're trying to make? What is the rub?
I don't know if there is a rub.
Okay.
I mean, it would be great because I feel that New Power Generation deserves a star on the First Avenue wall, obviously. But what would it feel like? What does it feel like to you as far as that's concerned? As a previous member of New Power Generation, when you see that star.
I mean, for me, the estate has made it perfectly clear that they're not. They want to be able to control anything that's going on, where anything Prince related, So I mean, I think it's a thing that I sort of let go of as far back as when I mean, honestly, like when Prince told the family that they couldn't use the name, I'm like, that's not gonna bode well for most of us in the future. We'll probably be able to ride it for a hot minute, but you know what I mean? It's like it's kind of like I don't know. I mean, I guess I hadn't really thought about it that much, and I certainly won't be offended by it. I mean,
no, and Samantha brings a great point. That they did the 777 show at First Avenue. Certainly, that should have been sold out. Why wouldn't it have been? Mm-hmm. And so, if the star is only being held hostage because of not being sold out, then best case scenario is that you refer to the books on this show on 777. And if New Power Generation did sell out First Avenue, then the star should already be there. I thought that there was already a star there, but according to some other people, they're saying there's not.
Now, if you want me to take a swat at that hornet's nest, let me say this.
I mean, that's what we do best.
If we're gonna do this,
that's what we do best, anyways. Go ahead.
What was my point?
Exactly? Oh wow! Shit! I totally forgot. God dang it! Here we go. I forgot the scroll. Scroll.
Yeah. Well, ain't none of them here anyway. I mean, like, that's what the show's gonna be about. Never mind.
No.
The game's on. Rodney's watching the game.
Yeah. Yes.
They ain't talking about nothing.
All right, go ahead. Swat the nest.
I guess. Well, I lost it now. I had an emerging idea, but I can't find it now. I think the greater spirit in me is saying, don't crank this up. Okay. Listen, I mean, it's.
I'm all about it. I think that I agree with what Samantha is said. That if that show did sell out, then you had a lot of the members then you're looking at a more fuller New Power Generation band that and at that point in time was legally able to use the name. On top of that,
here's the SWAT. Isn't the show that they got on Thursday like a combination of like an event for something? And
yes, I did see that. Here's the flyer. It says the NACAL Foundation for Criminal Justice presents.
Okay.
I don't know what that has to do with. Is that what you're referring to?
Not necessarily, but I'm saying I thought that the way things, and again, this is all hearsay. I don't really know their business, and I'm not supposed to. But what my understanding was is that it was a party that they opened to the public, and like that they were expecting 300 people before they even released tickets on the street. Were those 300 tickets paid for, or were they comps given by a company? And does that matter? Because First Ave, I know for a fact, because Soul Asylum sells it out just about every year. 1,550 people. So if that in reality is 1,250, you know, then what happens?
Yeah.
And again, I don't know. I don't care that much, really. But you know,
listen. Well, we can definitely tie a bow in it, and I can just say that obviously it is deserved that New Power Generation has a star in that building.
Yeah, if those are the cats to drag it across the finish line, God bless them.
Yeah, to bring it.
Yeah, so, let it happen.
Listen, so you obviously can't go to Michael's show because Michael's show is sold out. I think you have like only like 5 or so individual tickets, and best.
None of these seats are together. They're all like, you know, we'll probably give them we'll probably just release them back to the house, or use them as comps for family members or something if nobody buys them. But I mean,
yeah.
Well, 5 tickets, it's a sellout.
Yeah. But if you want to help Tony and Morris and Brown Mark and all those guys get across that finish line,
do that,
and then potentially get that star on there, invisible asterisk or not, then by all means buy a ticket to the show and go and help them get to that number. Buy those tickets and make it happen. Henry asked, speaking of stars, Mr. C, have you heard anything additional on Prince's star ceremony? If you're talking about the Hollywood Walk of Fame, you know, yes, I have. But I also know that there's some intricacies that I had heard that one of the main pushbacks was that Prince was offered the star multiple times. But first thing, a lot of people don't know this, but you have to buy that star. I can't remember what the number is. It's like, it's something ridiculous. It's like, I don't know. Does somebody know what that number is? It's like $30,000 or something like that. It's like, there's like a lot of money that's involved. Plus on top of that, you still have to go through a process to get approved for it or whatever else. And then on top of that, he didn't want people to walk on him. I'm using air quotes, to walk on him. So there was also discussion at some point in time about maybe he once again does something outside of the norm and put the star on a wall or something, you know, right above whatever. But I do know, yes, there is things that are happening and moving that I am aware of, but none that I can share or have been given clearance to share. But I do know it has not left the table. The discussion is still, you know,
I got you.
It's out there, but man.
Yeah, no, I agree with this. You see, Judy said something at 9:00. Yeah. I'm in agreement with that. Like, really, you know, it's been time. It's about time.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. You know? Well, and I think the other part of that is that, you know, the previous times now when MPG played on the 777, was it Prince and the New Power Generation, or was it just New Power Generation?
I think it was probably NPG by then.
Yeah, but I'm saying, was it Prince and the New Power Generation? They were. Yeah, obviously he was still with us on 777. So
are you saying was it separate billing?
Right, it wouldn't have been a separate billing, right? So
no,
so it would have been Prince,
and everybody would have presumed, well, Prince is going to be there. He's NPG.
Well, right, but so that's the thing though, is that the Time was able to. It wasn't Prince and the Time. That's the reason why Time has their own star. It was Prince and the Revolution though, so that kind of goes to show that there is that separation, but the Revolution was touring as the Revolution, and they sold out as the Revolution. They didn't sell out as Prince and the Revolution. They sold out just as the Revolution. So now MPG has got to sell out as New Power Generation.
Okay. Hey, you just made sense out of it.
Right.
You're there.
You're
there. Okay.
So that's what it is. And so that's the reason why 777 probably doesn't qualify, because it was Prince and the New Power Generation on 777.
And he wasn't just had his star by then. Yeah.
Oh yes, certainly, absolutely, yeah,
Yeah.
because he had already sold it out
Got to
multiple
start
times
back in
before
85, 84.
yeah, whatever it was, probably 83, probably.
Could be.
I mean,
Yeah.
there you go. All right, well, man, I hope you guys had a lot of fun tonight because it was great. Oh, I did have one more thing I wanted to share, even though it's not happening until August, but because he's a friend of mine and I want to help whenever I possibly can. But my man, Jesse Johnson is going to be performing at Yoshi's, which he plays a lot at that club, on August 28th and 29th. I don't know if tickets are available just yet. I think that they are. But if they are, and you happen to be over there in the LA area, that's where that place is. It's Oakland, right? So I think that's where Yoshi's is at.
Okay.
So, yep. Yoshi's in Oakland, California. He's going to be there August 28th and 29th. So tickets are already on sale. So that may be something that you maybe, there you go. Somebody else was saying, I guess Facebook having some issues with some freezing and whatnot. Sorry about that. I don't know what that is. We're still live here. I think YouTube's still okay. But it's okay. You guys can watch whatever you missed. Anyways, I hope you guys had a great time tonight. Thank you so much to Maya McClean, not only for coming on and sharing all the details about some of the stuff that she's doing with her spiritual life coaching and all that stuff, but also to actually sit and play a song. And it wasn't a snippet. She played the whole song, Waterfall, which was amazing. That was fantastic. Can't wait to snip that out. And she'll be opening up for that MPG show this Thursday at First Avenue. So if you don't have tickets to that, you should get them, help them sell out, help them see what we can do about getting that start, move forward. And then, and of course, if you are one of those solo people and you're looking for a show to go and you prefer to see Michael Bland, there are like 5 little scatter tickets that you can snatch up.
If you come to the stage door, I'll let you stand backstage.
Prop the door open for you.
If anybody knocks on that back door, I'll have Pete, my drum tech, open it.
Yeah, absolutely. And then of course, as I said, if you want to find more information on going to Maya's listening ceremony, go to funkatopia.com/Maya, MAYA, and you can go there to get the tickets and also find out more information about that. And of course, funkatopia.com/soundbath. That's SOUNDBATH. If you want to experience that 1 hour set that I created of all those types of songs. Yes, I saw some people. I hope you know's in there, and I hope this is in there. Listen, I had to condense everything down to an hour. And I think that once you experience this hour that I've put together, you're going to be like, oh, okay.
Can I just say this, man?
Yeah.
Prince fans, man.
They're hard, man.
They're so demanding all the time.
I know.
Don't play that song. Why are you wasting good time playing the hits? I want to hear.
No, there are, and again, there are no hits in there. I mean,
some of y'all are some humdingers, man. Y'all want it the way you want it, and you're not ready to accept anything. They don't compromise, man.
I mean, some of the more popular songs that are in here at best are Beautiful Strange. Beautiful Strange is in there. When She Comes is in there. There's a couple, but other than that, a lot of this stuff is, trust me, you're going to be it's an amazing experience. Make sure you set aside an hour for yourself in a quiet space with really, really good headphones, turn the lights off, get into the vibe, and make sure there's no interruptions, and head to it. Funkatopia.com/soundbath. It will take you to Spotify. And if you only have the free version of Spotify, don't do it. It cannot be interrupted by commercials. It's a total experience. And if you're going to be in Minneapolis area, specifically Eden Prairie, which is southwest of Minneapolis, make sure you email Dorothy Inez at dorothyinez.com. That's DOROTHY Inez, INEZ, at dorothyinez.com. And go to the Shine Sanctuary and get the full 40 experience of this sound bath, where you get the vibro acoustic mattress and essential oils, the whole friggin' experience. It will blow your mind. And get on her books and get that experience, man. It's going to be a lot of fun. And there are, again, so many things that are happening in and around town, seems like always. And I think that's why we got to keep on doing the show, because we got to keep people in the know. I mean, that's what we do.
That's right, man. We're stewards here. We got to get the information out to the people.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I hope you guys had a good night. And again, thank you so much to Maya McClean for stopping in and sharing all of her experiences in music. And just like last week, we really didn't have we don't have anything specific on the plate, but that's how this show works. It's just like
winging it for about 3 weeks now.
It was, man. But, I mean, I know it's the way God works. It's just like, oh, you don't have something. Jerry Hubbard's like, I'm ready to do the show. I was like, okay.
And also Mike Scott is on the back burner. Mike's like, come on, Joe, when y'all gonna have me on the show now? So
if he wants to come on Tuesday, we'll bring him on Tuesday.
We should bring him on Tuesday because he's playing the show with these guys. No, he's not. It's Odell that's playing the show. I keep thinking that Mike Scott is playing guitar with the MPG at First Ave. He's not. It's Odell. Yeah.
Wow.
Anyway, Mike Scott, anytime, man. He's a very good conversationalist.
Oh man, that's exactly what we need, because
I want to ask about Justin Timberlake. I want to know about Justin Timberlake.
Don't we all?
I want my daddy's records.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I've been watching Sanford and Son nonstop since I got the black box, man. I'm sorry.
Funkatopia Live. Yeah. I am your host, Mr. Christopher. That is Michael Bland.
He's your host. This is Michael Bland.
I hope you guys had an amazing time. We will talk to you next week. We'll see. You know, something will happen. Even if we're just talking. Yeah, something will happen. Good night, everyone. Thank you again.